All right, we're back. We're gonna start filing some rings. So here's how I do it. Everyone does it something similar or different or whatever. I mark the pistons. Since this thing's already been built, I found the build sheet on it, and luckily, so this is all going to go because the new pan that I have is going to have a built-in windage tray, and this is not going to be a center sump anymore. It's actually going to come off of here. So this is going to come off, and then I'm going to do these four and go from there. Get yourself a ring square. You can also do it with the piston, but this way it's more accurate, so I like it better. And we're gonna go 30 and 34 on this one. I'm just gonna go a little big on it just in case I do add a little bit more juice to it. But yeah, because with nitrous there's never enough. So I'm gonna go until she blows. It is what it is. I just don't care. So we're gonna get crack-a-lacking and moving on. I've got these out right here. And here they sit. Nice, awesome Crowler rods. These are the best of the best. And they are the Crowler, I believe the part number on this is right there, but you can see that. These are the AMS multi-phase bolts. These are very expensive bolts. You do not want to touch the threads or anything with your hands. You can only touch the actual head itself. The oils and the salt in your fingers will mess them up. But yeah, this is a real deal, and I'm going to start. This is number one, and just play your music, find a little Zen table, and move along. I was going to do a time lapse of this, but nobody wants to see me just kind of going back and forth, filing rings. So, yeah, just get yourself a nice little, go no go style of feeler gauges. So these have, well, these aren't the go no goes. Well, I got to get the other ones. Go no goes. Yep. So you get yourself some go no goes and put those on there. And then I always check them with two anyways. And then top ring, bottom ring, and do them one at a time. Take your time. Here we go. So this is the ring file I use. A lot of people don't like them. I've built so many engines with this thing. I know exactly how it works. 10 turns on this is about 6 thousandths if you turn it. How I always do it, now this is going to be tricky. I'm going to try to do this. But I always go up against something that's white. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try to, and then squeeze it together. I'm looking for a gap. There's no gap there because you do up against the whiteboard. And then get yourself a little file. This is a nice little file here. And then you just hit it, and you want to go this way, down, this way, down. I'm sorry, this way, down, that way, and same with that. And you want to make sure there is no burrs because you don't want that thing to hang up. So this is how I put them in. I slide them in like so. Now, once again, trying to do this through a phone. Slide them in, push it down just a little bit, rock it in, get your squaring tool, drop the squaring tool on. Then I just slightly pull up on it like this to get it all nice and square. So that way I know it's all up against it. Take squaring tool off. And then, once again, try and do this through a phone. And then what I do is I have, this is 6,026, this is 28, and this is 30. So then I come in here, and then all you're looking for, you're not looking for this to be super tight. You're just looking for it to be, see if this can you see it? Just looking for it to be about that, like that. So that way it's just a little bit of drag going in and out. And there it is. I'm going to keep on going down. And once again, this is just a nice little Zen thing. I've had this oil pump. This is the original oil pump that's been in this race car ever since the beginning. And there's the reason why. This one was actually made in the USA. It's had extensive porting done on it as far as coming into it. Everything's been opened up. Even on this side here too, you can see where this has been opened up. The port that goes through, everything's been filed down and smoothed out. Back when, before they did it, how I had to do this is I wanted a stud here. Before, you couldn't put a stud on this. So this has actually been cut down in a mill, and I had a custom bolt made at the time as far as height goes, and then I cut it down just slightly bit more, and same with the bolt. So that way it would fit underneath the oil pump. So that's a little trick part. And then these are splayed mylodon caps that are in here. These bolts are going to come out. I might have some extra ones. If not, I'm going to cold cut these because you don't want to get them hot because obviously it'll change the temper and whatnot. But I'm going to cut these off for the pan. This is why you keep parts laying around. So this is a main stud kit for windage tray. This is a Mopar a head stud kit. So this is what I'm taking out this length. This is the stud size that comes in here. Obviously it's not long enough, but the head studs are the correct length, right up to that for the Milodon. So they are going to come out kind of like this, which is good. So that's why you never throw away anything. So there's the difference. See, just a little bit makes the difference. So, yep, I want to get these in, torqued down, and then we're going to test fit the oil pan. Alrighty. Tech tip of the day. When you're tightening down, say this one right here, what I tend to do is I'll put feeler gauge on this side, the big one, because you're going to be torquing it this direction. So I'll put the flat side on that one and then just use this one as a spacer. So that way when you torque this one down, it doesn't, rock the bearing. It holds the bearing in place. So that way, you only got 2/1000ths of clearance or 3/1000ths, or this one right here has got 2.5. So, this way it keeps it from moving. Just a little tech tip that I do. So now with this pan, since it's a rear sump, on this comes with this, and this is the plug to plug into this thing. So what's nice about that is that way there's obviously much smaller of a tube. So we're going to take this off, plug that thing up with that thing, and we're going to put it back onto this thing, and then this should be done. I'm still debating. I would like to button this thing up this weekend. I got to put the front cover on if I'm going to button it up, which means I'm going to leave the cam alone. I know I talked about leaving it alone. I'm still thinking about leaving it alone. I don't know. All right. Okay, so everything's on there. We just put this on there. We had to change one of these to an Allen head just because it comes close to the weld. So we just changed that out. We checked it. It's got about just about 1/2 inch with the gasket on there to from here to the bottom of the pan. Everything's done. This is that oil pan. Found my intake, found that. Couldn't find this box for a while. It's got all my little doodads, so on and so forth. What's weird is that these Milodon ones are the ones that I bought for the spare. But here's the deal is that they're not tapered. This one's tapered. So I pressed off one of those because I bought a couple of these because, you got to have them. So yeah, that sucks. So that means that this is my only good shaft I got. So found my head studs, my lifters that I'm going to run. These are Maximus lifters. They're basically for top fuel type deal. They're used, but they're going to work. They're going to be just fine. And then all my other little nuts and bolts, my extra oil pump that I've basically took apart, never used, and front timing cover, got to clean that up. Heads are in the back. I had all the gaskets and everything ready to go, so I'm ready. Oh, head gaskets are 40,000, so I'm good there. And then an engine plate that's going to go on the front. So yeah, I'm moving along. So this thing's, hopefully, I'm going to decide whether tomorrow if I'm going to use this cam or not, which I'm probably just going to use it. So I'll just probably use it. So it is what it is. And then put it back together and then just let her eat. At this point, I just don't care. So, all right, you guys take it easy. We'll talk soon.